Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Real again. I just wanted to make a video. I hope it will be brief. I hate long videos, but this one is not anything written down because I'm usually very meticulous. I like to write things down that I want to talk about before I make the video. I'm a very type A personality. I don't want to waste your time or mine. So this one is more of an emotional type of video. Um, it's about mommyhood again, though. So this is just what I've been feeling for this past week. Um, at first, my husband and I decided not to find out the sex, but um, I had an OBGYN as well as a midwife. And when the opportunity came to find out the sex, it's so hard to resist the temptation not to find out. I think if you don't want to know the sex of the baby, it's best to stick with the midwife if you have an option, because they don't usually use those type of technologies there. But at the OB, they have them readily available, and they're going to ask. And so a big piece of me wanted a boy, not because boys are particularly easier or better, but because of the very fragmented and just torn relationship that I have with my mother. I wanted a boy, and I felt like if I had a boy, I could start afresh, and the primary responsibility of him becoming a man would be more on my husband's shoulders. I can't show him how to be a man. I could just show him what a loving mother and a loving wife looks like and try my best to be those things. But I wouldn't have to show him how to be a man. And so I found comfort in thinking that it was a boy. I had my head wrapped around, this is a boy. I had dreams, oh, it's going to be a boy. I even had my husband believing it was going to be a boy just because that's what I wanted because of that issue. So when we were in the OBGYN and she asked if we wanted to know the sex, of course, I already had in my head, it's a boy, so tell him that it's a boy. And when she said she saw a labia, I almost had a conniption because I wanted it to be a boy. And once I found that it was a girl, a flood of the emotional issues that I have with my mother, because we're not close at all. We have the type of relationship where we have to be apart from each other in order for it to work smoothly. If we spend too much time with each other, we're going to argue. And I'm not talking about any kind of argue. I'm talking about degrading, disrespectful, backbiting, underhanded, the most ugly thing you can say to your child type of argument. I mean, it got to the point where when I was about 7.5 months pregnant, my mother, in an argument with me about my baby shower, I didn't think that she would have the time to throw me a baby shower, but I didn't want that to stop her from helping me if she wanted to. So I said, I had got to be 5 months and nobody had talked about I'm in a baby shower. And then by the time I was 7.5 months, I kind of figured we probably wouldn't have one. So why don't I just tell you guys what to get me and skip the whole hoopla of the baby shower thing? You could just bring me the things that I say that I need to the house. Slowly but surely, and we'll have all the things that we need. And she took that as, oh, you don't think that I would give you a baby shower? I don't care about you. And I just don't see how the two correlated. And that conversation ended up in her telling me that she wished she had never had me when I was like 7.5 months pregnant. She told me that. And so, like I said, we have a very, very tumultuous relationship. And I really didn't learn how to be a woman from her. I had to, her and my father would separate and get back together quite a lot. So, in order for me to become the woman that I needed to be or the woman that I am, I had to piece together the women that were in my cipher or my circle. My grandmother, Grace, that's her name, who's a beautiful woman, very strong, old school, cook, clean. She was a maid, but had a lot of pride. Well, has a lot of pride. She's 89 now, and I completely thought that that is the definition of a woman. You know, she cooked for her family, she cared for her family. She was a woman to me. And so I pieced together her, my aunt, who is no longer with us. Her name was Wanda, and she was an entrepreneur spirit. She took her time to get her education. She went to community college, then went to a 4-year university, and then came in at a local bank and worked her way from lockbox to like head accountant. And so she was like on excuse the shakiness. She was on her stuff, very much about her business. And so I pieced together her, my grandmother, school teachers that I felt were intelligent and smart and sweet, women that I came across with that I could establish relationships with. They became my mom because when my mother and father would separate, I would be solely with my dad. And so I had my first conversation about my cycle with my dad. I went bra shopping with my dad. It was so traumatic. And I thought if I had a boy, I could avoid all of that. And I didn't. And during the time that I spent a lot of time by myself with my pregnancy because my husband did a lot of working so I could eventually be able to stay at home. I did a lot of soul searching, and I found that my daughter was sent to me to heal those things that was broken from me and my mother's relationship. She was That's her purpose in my life. She chose me, and I had the privilege of having her in my life to heal those things so I can be attentive to her. I can show her love, gratitude, show her how to be a lady, do all the things that I wanted my mother to do with me that I never got a chance to do. Um, you know, play in her hair, stare in the mirror, tell her how beautiful she is, how much she means to me. Just sing to her, even though I have the worst singing voice. I made up a get up song. It's really cute. I'm not gonna sing it, but it's really cute. And she's starting to try to talk, so she imitates it in her babbling language. But yeah, basically, it was just those fears. You hear a lot of times men having those fears about, well, I don't know how to be a father because I didn't have a father. And so the same issues I had with being a mother. I didn't really have a connection with my mom, and I didn't know how to be a mother to a daughter. And I'm learning. It takes time, um, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn as I go along how to be a good mom to her, instill self-esteem in her, instill value in her, let her know that she is so important to me, the most important thing in my life. Um, just everything that I wanted to do with my mom, I do with her. I take her to the library. I've taken her to cultural events, even though she's a baby in like a Moby rap. Um, Exposed her to music and art galleries and stuff like that. She's not even 2 yet. Like those are the things that I've done, and I really want to make sure that my relationship with her is the complete and utter opposite. I'm not obsessed with it, but it is. I'm mindful of it. I don't say bad things about myself in her presence. I don't say, "Oh, I look bad today," or "I think I look fat," or "This is ugly." I'm very careful about those word choices. And when she's around people in my family who are not as conscious, if they say something that I don't like, I immediately correct them in front of her. If they say something about her skin tone, I'm not having that. If they say something about the texture of her hair, I'm not having that as well. Only complimentary things. And if you're going to say something, it's going to be constructive. If not, then I'm going to pounce on you because a girl's self esteem is very fragile, and I didn't have that. And how I overcame it was just being around my midwives, um, basically looking at YouTube videos of women giving birth unassisted. Like, how strong and loving do you gotta be in order to carry a baby full time term, or however long you carry it and bring it to this world? There's love somewhere, and you can't forget that love. And my daughter is perfect to me. God sent her to me as a gift to try to correct those things that I've had with my mom, and every day I'm learning, and every day the correction is getting better. So yeah, I had some fears with that, having a girl, but they're dissipating very quickly. And the more things I do, that was the opposite. The first thing was nursing, establishing that connection. Uh, I wouldn't have traded that for the world. She doesn't nurse anymore. She's not interested in nursing. She weaned herself, but still, that connection was profound, and it keeps growing. She spends most of her time with me purposefully. I don't even let her spend a night over people's houses because I want her to know she's that valuable to me. Maybe later I'll allow her to, go to someone else's home and spend some time away. But for now, she's right by mommy's side, close to mommy's heart. And so that's it. Hopefully, I can have another video where I talk about some of the things that I do with her to keep her active and engaged. But yeah, that was my biggest mommy fear, having a girl. That's funny now in retrospect. But I hope this helps someone feel like they're not alone. And just because you didn't have the example, it doesn't mean that you can't be the example. Okay? So, peace and blessings.